I can share it on, see if anyone wants to join.
Yeah, that'd be great if you can. I'm just about to go live on the YouTube. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and welcome back to Al-Emaan's online events. Today we are continuing on with our weekly Al-Emaan Q&A, live Q&A with Sheikh Abdullah, mashallah. He's joining us as he did each week, mashallah. Today, unfortunately, he's having to do it via audio only, so he won't be joining via video. But nonetheless, he's here to take on your questions and answer any concerns that you may have. Mashallah, with the last couple of days of Ramadan, it's blessed to have him yet again to answer your questions. So without further ado, let me hand you over to Sheikh Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair for that. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear respected brothers and sisters, inshallah, welcome to another open Q&A. Before, inshallah, we start with the open Q&A, just a reminder from me, to myself and to everyone, inshallah, who's listening. We are in the last 6-7 days of Ramadan, a rather unique Ramadan. It's probably one of the most unique Ramadans that we will have in our lifetime. Inshallah, once the coronavirus pandemic is over, hopefully next year we'll get back to normal. But this Ramadan, in fact, people who are, at the age of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, this is actually, if you really think about it, it's a unique Ramadan. I don't think we will ever, in our life, in my lifetime perhaps, we'll have a Ramadan like this. Unique in a positive sense, in the sense that, yes, there are difficulties, there are challenges, there have been challenges, there'll be more challenges, but in one sense it's very, very positive. And I was thinking to myself yesterday that if it weren't for Ramadan and we're in this lockdown, I don't know how I would probably survive, in the sense that, how would we manage? Because, I feel better that although we're in lockdown this Ramadan, and I'm actually really kind of sad, very sad actually, that Ramadan is going to end very, very soon, which is something that every year we say that Ramadan comes and goes very, very fast, like a bullet speeding bullet train. But this Ramadan just feels more than normal, that it's gone so fast, even though, we've not been able to go out to work, we've not been able to go to do activities, a lot of the Ramadan we're really busy with in mosque, iftaris and talks and seminars and conferences and, fundraiser events. Everything now is online, and people, have more time, but it seems that time has gone so fast, subhanallah. And that's really, really important, that we understand that time waits for no one. Yeah. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. That by the token of time, Allah swears by time. That is why we are not allowed to curse the time. From the Islamic theological perspective, we are not allowed to curse the time. We shouldn't say, let's kill time, even though we know what we mean, but that is reprehensible to say, because time is something that Allah subhanahu time that we live in. There are other theological implications also, so we should not curse the time. We shouldn't say, well, how do we kill time? Because on the Day of Judgment, if we want to kill time now, we would be regretting on the Day of Judgment that why did we kill time? Why did we not use the time that we had, even a minute, to say extra subhanallah, extra alhamdulillah. Even in fact, there are hadith that mentions that on the Day of Judgment, there are people who will say that why I wished I had a minute extra in this dunya. That minute extra I could have done X amount of tasbih, and that would enable me to go to paradise. Subhanallah. So it's a reminder for us that we utilize our time to the best of our ability. If the intention are correct, even our sleep, even our rest, the intention is correct, that becomes ibadah, that becomes servitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in the last remaining days and nights of Ramadan, let us focus on ibadah. Let us focus on connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So with this, inshallah, let's open up with the questions and see what everyone has, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. Just yeah, we're starting to get a couple of questions coming through. There is one that's just come in just right now, and it's probably going to be a popular one, so maybe you might want to spend a little bit of time on it. It's Salam, Sheikh. Can I ask how we should conduct Idul Fitr in these circumstances?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Idul Fitr, yep, a lot of people are asking, and I believe that there will be other guidances out very, very soon. But Idul Fitr, obviously, most likely, definitely, we will not be able to open the mosques and pray Salatul Eid as we do every year. So, like Jum'ah, we will not be able to pray Salatul Eid. So, what is the number one when it comes to Eid al-Fitr, the Salah? What are the ahkam? What are the rulings pertaining to that? There are different opinions among the scholars. Can you pray Salatul Eid alone in your house, or do you have to pray in a mosque, open mosque? According to a lot of scholars, the Hanafi madhab is that one of the condition of praying Salatul Jum'ah or Eid is that it has to be an open area or like a mosque that is not closed in. So to offer Salatul Eid or Jum'ah in a house with your own family, right? That's not allowed. That will not be counted as Salatul Eid or Salatul Jum'ah. So other scholars, the Shafis and other scholars say they say that Hanbali scholars, they say that it's allowed, right? One person, two people. If you're not able to pray, if you miss it, if you're not able to pray in the mosque, then you're allowed to offer it in your house and with your family. So whatever madhab, it's important to stick to, when it comes to ibadah, it's important to stick to a madhab. Like you don't flip flop, right? So if you follow the Hanafi madhab, you stick to the Hanafi madhab in this. If you follow the Shafi madhab, you stick to the Shafi madhab. And know that if we are not able to pray, it doesn't mean that we're losing the barakah. If we had the intention to go and we're not able to go because of X, Y, and Z reasons, we will get the reward, inshallah. That's the beauty of Islam. Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, we should still wake up and do our salah, have a bath, a shower, wear nice clothes, have nice food and whatnot. These are still, we should do the other festivities of Eid. Obviously, we can't invite our family members and friends, have a Skype or Zoom meeting perhaps with them. But do all the other stuff, inshallah. Enjoy as best as you can in your house, inshallah. Yeah. Hope that answers the question, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. That's very comprehensive. Appreciate that. There's another question just come through. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Jazakallah khair for taking time to answer questions. Are you able to make ghusl after suhoor for Fajr, or do we have to shower before suhoor ends for the fast to be valid?
Are you allowed to?
Are you able to make ghusl or shower after suhoor for Fajr, or do we have to shower before suhoor ends for the fast to be valid? I'm assuming this is for
it can be after, it doesn't matter. It can be after.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm just going to check on the YouTube to see if there's any questions on there. Just bear with me a second. In the meanwhile, whilst that's going on, I've got a quick question for you myself. I've just been noticing many masjids have been obviously, as we have been trying to raise funds for their masjids, and one or two of them have been having these offers where either offering mobile phones or when the epidemic is lifted and this is lifted, that they can gain an umrah through
Yeah.
this kind of thing. And I was looking at this in a little bit of detail, and to me, having looked into it, looks a bit like it's alluding to some kind of a area of gambling.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure, so I thought I'd ask the question just to see if you could clarify: is this allowed or it's not allowed? What is the kind of legal stance on it?
Yeah. Okay. Very good question. Yeah, that should be avoided because you are paying, like you're saying you're giving charity, but you are paying and with the intention that everyone would have the intention. I want to go to Umrah, but that should be avoided. Yeah. I think any doubt that we have in terms of gambling and stuff that should be avoided. Yeah.
Jazakallah khair. So there's lots of many questions coming through now, mashallah. Next question is it's on one of your pet topics, zakat. Can you send clothes to a poor country as sadaqah and pay for the delivery out of your zakat money? Is this zakat valid?
So in lieu of money, people distribute clothes. Yeah, that's the question.
No, I think what they're saying is that they want to send some of their some clothes, as in clothes, to charity for poor people, and
Yeah.
then using their zakat money to pay for the delivery of that, so that when the items
Okay.
arrive in the poor country, they will benefit from the physical clothing,
Yeah.
but the cost implication of
Yeah. No, that's not allowed because zakat, shouldn't be used for all the admin costs. Zakat should be 100% given to the poor and the needy. Yeah. I know the other people allow it, but I like to be safe than sorry, and it's best in terms of zakat. Sadaqah, yes, sadaqah you can use, some admin fee and whatnot. When it comes to zakat, it should be 100%.
Okay, that makes sense. And just to add to that, I mean, is as part of the clothing that is being sent, let's just say, for example, the zakat clothes of your own, are they allowed to be sent as part of your zakat, or should that be the monetary value? I mean, so you'll pay you from your own pocket as the admin.
If it's your own clothes and stuff, no, you shouldn't add that, right? But if you, for example, want to purchase, yeah, like
Yeah.
for example, if you want to purchase food or food items and clothes and stuff, right, and give the report directly, yeah, that's allowed.
Okay. Okay. But they should be purchased new or purchased through the local country, so they can be distributed as zakat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Jazakallah khair. Next question is, Salam Sheikh, I'm trying to lead Salat at home with my family, but my tajweed is not the best. I feel that I am maybe leading them incorrect due to it. Should I stop, as the female members know it better than me, and they pray by themselves?
So he's a family member, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a husband or a son or somebody. It doesn't suggest, or it just says,
If the female
I'm trying to.
member knows more Quran, yeah. If it's only family, then she can lead them. There's an opinion she can, but it can't be non-family members. Yeah, it can't be outside, but it has to be within the family, so she can lead them.
Okay, okay. So, but should he stop, or should he try his best
If
to still lead?
if he's making big mistakes that invalidates the salah, then he should stop. Yeah, because I don't know what the issues are. But if he's making small mistakes and he can, it's valid still, because sometimes you can make small mistake, minor mistake, but salah would be valid. Then perhaps he can carry on, and in the meantime, learn, right? But if he's making big mistake, major mistakes which vitiate the arkan or the rukun, pillars of salah, then he should stop and let others lead. In this
Uh,
instance, even a woman in the family can lead.
I think he's clarified, saying slight pronunciation issues.
Yeah, I mean, if this slight pronunciation issues, there's not like, but if for example, if it's like alhamdu, they say alhamdu, the ha does not come out properly. That it's not optimal, but it's okay. But if someone completely changes the meaning, right? Alhamdu, yeah, for example, that's haram. That's not allowed. So those minor stuff is fine, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah.
Although the person should endeavor to learn it.
Yes, inshallah, inshallah. Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. Next question is, in the Hanafi madhab, is a lady allowed to recite Quran from the phone or from the mushaf using gloves? If not, how do we attend recitation classes or deliver them? Also, does the Hanafi madhab follow the first Asr prayer time or the second? Sorry, I'll go with the first one first and I'll ask the second one after.
So, I'm assuming that this question is asking about women in her menses. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing too. Sure.
In terms of women in her menses are not allowed to touch the Quran, are not allowed to recite the Quran, whether from memory or by looking at on the app or mushaf with the gloves or not. Right? In the Hanafi madhab, you're not allowed to do that. Yeah. However, you can read the translation of the Quran. Yeah, but you are not allowed to recite it. You can read it, like you're not allowed to recite the Quran. You're not allowed to touch the Quran. Yeah. And obviously, I think I mentioned this before during our Q&A sessions that in this situation, our sisters should not, inshallah they're not, but if they are, there should be no doubt that here it's not a punishment, right? That they're not allowed to. It's actually a rukhsa, a dispensation. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives a dispensation, it's a rahmah. Right? So for example, when we travel, we are allowed to combine our salah. Yeah, we're allowed to join and combine our salah. Yeah, because even though we travel by plane or cars, it's still difficult, So you want to get the ibadah out the way in the sense that, we don't want to be lazy. That's why Allah has given us this concession, a rukhsa. Yeah. And the hadith mentioned that Allah loves for us to take the rukhsa. And Allah wants us to, right, take the rukhas, the dispensations. Yeah. So it's a mercy and it will get a reward for it, subhanAllah. So in this situation, right, it's a dispensation that it's a dispensation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to women, right? That they are not allowed to pray and fast during those times, right? But they will get the reward for it also because they will have the intention to fast and pray. Yeah, so it's not a punishment; it's actually a mercy. So some people think is non-Muslim, they might think it's punishment and stuff. Why are women not allowed to do these kind of things, right? And it's not discrimination; it's actually a rahmah and mercy for the women. Allah. And the other question was.
And the second part of the question was, Jazakallah khair for answering that first part. The second part of the question was also, does the Hanafi madhab follow the first Asr prayer time or the second?
It's the second. Hanafi madhab follow the second. And as I said, I think last week, that this, in my opinion, this is the most authentic in particular our context, because you'll come like in the summertime in particular, you'll cut after probably about 7:30. So that gives you leave work 5 o'clock, come back, have rest, and then you got to salah. Whereas if it's like earlier time, it's difficult. You have to. It'll be difficult. You come back from work, you're tired and stuff, right? In that sense, practically, I prefer that myself.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Next question is, following on from the other person's questions on salah, if a woman is leading her family, where should she stand, behind or in front?
Good question. She can stand in front, no problem.
Okay, so she can lead ahead of, say, the husband or
Yeah.
Okay. Jazakallah khair. And the next one is, if a woman is on menses, she can still perform the dhikr?
Yes. Women in menses, they can still perform the dhikr. They can, make dua. They can read Islamic books, no problem. The only thing they can't do is obviously fast, pray, and recite the Quran and touch the Quran. Everything else, dua and dhikr and stuff, can do.
And they're not even allowed to recite Quran from memory, or they're allowed to recite Quran from memory?
No, recite the Quran from memory also.
Okay. Jazakallah khair. And the next question here is, Sheikh, for the elders who are unable to fast due to health and medication, how much should they be paying daily? I think that's for for not being able to fast.
Some people who are not able to fast, chronic illness, they should, pay about £5 per day. In the UK, at least £5 per day that they missed.
Okay, and is there any particular requirement for where this should be sent, or can it be given to like local charities, or
Yeah,
should
you
it
can
be
give it to
particularly
local charities. As long as people are poor and they're receiving it. You can't give that, for like say to a TV station for da'wah purposes, yeah, or
Yeah.
to, you see, it has to go to benefit the poor.
Okay, so I think there's some clarification required, I think, with regards to the wife leading the prayer at home. So the next question is just to clarify, the wife can lead the husband in prayer at home. Is that correct?
Yeah. According to an opinion, um, you know, she can, according to an opinion. Yeah, that is in the condition that there are, she has more knowledge, more Quran than the husband, and the husband is not able to lead because cannot pronounce, or these are able, right? On those conditions, I think it's okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
but obviously she can't be an imam in a mosque and lead other, other people. It has to be within the mahram, within the family.
And as you said, that it should be just on the basis that there is some kind of an issue just in terms of being
Yeah,
able to do the
yeah.
recitation. Whereas under normal circumstances, the
No, the
gentleman
husband
should
should.
be the husband, or the son should be leading the prayer.
Yeah.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair.
Okay.
I think we've got time for a couple more questions. Just going to check to see if there's anything more on the YouTube. In the meanwhile, I think, did you want to just mention a few bits with the last 5 days coming up, just some particular things that the congregation may want to be focusing on whilst a few more questions come through?
Yeah. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I think the three things that we should focus on in the, obviously, fasting, we'll be fasting, reciting the Quran, salah, and dua. Reciting the Quran will act, you can do it, so you can be smart. So you recite the Quran while you are in salah, and reciting the Quran is the best form of dhikr, so you could fulfill that dhikr. Yeah. Then you have dua. Dua is very, very important. I mentioned this many times. Dua huwa mukhul ibadah. The dua is the essence of ibadah. It's the cornerstone of ibadah. When a Muslim, when a believer raises his or her hands, that shows servitude, right? That shows servitude. And this is the pinnacle of ibadah. When we go to a sujood and we make dua to Allah, that's the pinnacle of ibadah. Because why? We are showing that we are the fuqara, we are the masakin, we are the poor, we are the needy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is here, wal ghaniyu. He's the most rich. He is independent. He does not need us. We need him. And that shows our neediness and servitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What the scholars are, our iftiqar, our neediness, our poverty towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So dua. But there's an art of making dua. Yeah. There's an art of making dua. I mentioned this yesterday at the reminder of the khutbah, that we should start by praising God, right? You can do it in English, praising his by using his name, beautiful names and attributes. Yeah. By acknowledging the greatness of God and acknowledging the weakness of yourself. And then number two, you send salutations upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then you make dua. Number three, you make dua for the ummah, for people, and then you make dua for yourself, and you end with sending salutations upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you try to face the qibla if you can. Try to be in wudu if you can, but you don't have to be in wudu. You don't have to face the qibla. You can remember God. You can make dua in any state. الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض. Those who remember God while sitting and reclining and standing, whichever position that you are in, you remember God. So increase in your ibadah, increase in your dua, and also obviously give charity. If you haven't paid your zakat already, you should have a zakat date and you should pay that immediately. But if you have paid your zakat, give in charity, right? Give every day, every night, even if it's a pound, even if it's a 10 pound, or just give a lump sum and make the intention that you want to make it, you want to send it every night, 10 pound each or £1 each, inshallah. We don't know whether we will have another Ramadan, to be honest. We don't know. This pandemic is, in the UK, they say that around 60,000 people have died so far. I mean, that's diabolical, right? Atrocious. The most, one of the most richest country in the world, 60,000 people have died. Yeah. So young and old, healthy and unhealthy people have died. So it's important for us to take stock of that. It's important for us to remind us of that our time is limited in this world, and and the visceral world that we live in is very fleeting. Tomorrow we don't know what will happen. Next day we don't know what happened. Next second that we don't know what will happen. So every minute that we have in this world, we should be in there, in the presence of God, presence of mind, presence of heart, inshallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless everyone, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to, inshallah, worship Him to the best of our ability.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. That was really, really fantastic. There's a few more questions that have come in. I think there's this leading of salah is becoming quite interesting for many of our listeners. So the question is, I read somewhere that children who are not baligh can lead salah if they have knowledge. Is this correct?
No, if they're not baligh, they shouldn't lead salah. So in that perspective, they're not baligh, they shouldn't lead salah.
Okay, perfect. Jazakallah khair.
They themselves are not obliged to pray.
Okay. Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. That's clarified that one. Can you remind us of the hadith that the Prophet said Ameen when stepping on the pulpit, please?
In the Ramadan, right? In a long hadith, essentially, we step on the pulpit and say, and all the times he said Ameen, Ameen. And the last time, he kind of changes response. And when the Sahabas asked him, he said, why? He said, may he be, to the effect, right? May he be, the loser is the one, the curse is the one, the loser is the one. That Ramadan comes, they reach to Ramadan, but they do not attain the forgiveness of God. They don't attain the forgiveness of God. And it's really the essence. This is the essence of the hadith. It's the essence of Ramadan. That Ramadan is open market. It's like God is saying to us, Allah is saying to us, just earn your place in Jannah, right? Earn your place in Jannah. It's an open bank account. Earn it, take it, right? Do all those things, you will be guaranteed paradise. But those who don't do that, those who have hatred and harbor malice and cheat and lie, and even in the month of Ramadan, right? They will not attain the forgiveness of Allah. They will not attain the blessings of the month of Ramadan, right? There are conditions. So we have to abide by those conditions in order for us to be admitted into so God that can embrace us with His mercy and compassion. So it's a very scary hadith. This is not, subhanAllah, this is not me saying it or another scholar saying. This is the Prophet saying it, right? Right. The one who does not earn the pleasure of God in the month of Ramadan, that person is cursed. That person is damned. Right? This is not me saying it. This is not another human being saying it. This is Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as-sadiq al-masduq, the most truthful, and he understood Islam more than anyone else. Right? He is the founder of Islam in one sense. Right? So, the last 5 days, last 6 days, we should take stock of that hadith and many other warnings. And if we have any hatred for anyone, if you have any malice in our hearts for anyone, right, get rid of that. Cleanse your heart, right? Recite the Quran. Don't have the intention that after Ramadan I'm going to go back to my old ways. I'm going to go back to no. You have to make a firm intention. Otherwise, we will not be among those people who the Prophet said, right? Man sama Ramadan imana wa ihtisaba ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbi. Whoever fasts in the month of Ramadan with iman, with conviction, with pure heart, with conviction, believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and anticipating that he was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his or her misdeeds and sins will be forgiven. Those who continue in the misdeeds, continue in the hatred, continue in the backbiting, continue in the not observing the hudud or the limits set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how can they expect to attain the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It's like the hadith, other hadith mentions that a person goes to Hajj, and makes dua, cries and makes dua. وَمَلْبَسُهُ مِنْ حَرَامٍ وَمَأْكَلُهُ مِنْ حَرَامٍ فَأَنَّى يُسْتَجَابُ لَهُ. The hadith mentioned. He goes to Hajj and raises his hand, but his clothing is from haram, by cheating people and lying, from riba and whatnot. His food is from haram, by cheating and lying and haram earnings. فَأَنَّى يُسْتَجَابُ لَهُ. How can his dua be answered? Meaning it's impossible for his dua to be answered. So we have to take stock of those things. Yes, we have been granted the most blessed month. No other nation has been granted this month. No other nation has been granted the night of Laylatul Qadr. But there are conditions. Right? There's nothing that we can do, but it's by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we have to abide by certain conditions, inshallah. So let us take stock of those hadiths and repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. That was really, really beautiful and a great reminder there again. There's a few more questions coming in slowly but surely, mashallah. I hope you're not getting too tired from them. Jazakallah khair for taking this time out for us. So the next question is, Salam, in the last 3 nights, I would like to sit in etikaf. Can you explain how this is done and what the validity of etikaf is, please?
Okay, Jazakallah khair. So etikaf, the sunnah etikaf is done in a mosque. You cannot do, for men, you cannot do etikaf in your house or another place. Right? With the intention of sunnah etikaf is only done in a mosque. Right? And that's the shi'ar of a mosque, the symbol of a mosque. Right? However, you can obviously, if you want to seclude yourself in a room in a house, right? Just want to away from the dunya, no phone, nothing, then you can do that. But that's not the sunnah of etikaf. That's not the sunni etikaf. Yeah. For women, they can do that in the house. Yeah, for women, they can do that, right? So they can seclude themselves and make the intention of itikaf in a house, and they'll get the reward for it, inshallah. For men, no, right? Well, now, the tables have turned, right? Or is Islam discriminating against men now? No, this is for every time, for every context. There are certain things. We are equal in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Men and women, we are equal in the sight of Allah in terms of reward. We are different. We are physiologically, psychologically, mentally, we are different. God created us differently. And because he knows what is good for us, he has given us certain things for men to do, certain things women to do. And we have to just say sami'na wa ata'na. Yeah, and this example is so basic, but it amplifies that meaning, amplifies that understanding, amplifies the wisdom and the prudence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah. Itikaf for men cannot be done in the house or anywhere. It has to be done in the mosque. For women, it can be done, inshallah.
Next question is, can you explain how to perform the Eid Salah according to the Hanafi madhab? How many takbirs are performed? In fact, I might even add to that and say maybe you can just describe the differences and why there are differences.
Okay, sorry. What I would say, inshallah, there are, again, in terms of Hanafi, I want to mention a few stuff before that, inshallah. I mean, there'll be a lot of questions on that, and it's really, really important, right, that we stick to a madhab, right? A lot of people they pick and choose, yeah. A lot of people they pick and choose. Oh, for today I'll be Hanafi. Today, but tomorrow I'll be a Shafi. Yeah, that's not allowed. Especially when it comes to ibadah. When it comes to ibadah, like zakah and salah and hajj, you can't pick a mix. Yeah, there are some leeways within the madhab. There are some leeways, but you can't pick a mix. For mu'amalat and other issues, you can be more flexible because it's more mu'amalat, dealings and transaction and whatnot. When it comes to ibadah, because God has not given us, a leeway, and the Prophet gave a leeway to say, today I'll pray this way or that way. You have to choose one. If you study one, you choose one. Or if you cannot study, you just follow a scholar that follows the madhab, and you follow that scholar. Inshallah. I hope that's clear. So in terms of the Eid prayer, there are some differences of opinion among the madhab and scholars. So Eid prayer is performed obviously during Eid day. It's before the khutbah, if you like, is given after the Eid prayer. Right? In Jum'ah, the khutbah is given before the prayer. In Eid, the khutbah is given after, right? And the khutbah is also wajib, is part of the salah. So it's 2 rakats, right? And perform in the normal way. Perform in the 2 units, and normally you pray, right? The difference is that you have 6 takbirat, or 6 takbirs. Yeah, 3 of them in the beginning of the first rakah, and the 3 of them just before ruku' and the second rakah. Yeah, 3 of them in the beginning, and then just before the ruku'. Obviously after reciting the Fatiha and another surah, inshallah. There are different opinions of the scholars, but that's the Hanafi way, inshallah.
So just before I move to the next question, I wanted to just ask a question. Some of the masajid, they obviously follow the Hanafi madhab, and others would follow, say, the Shafi'i or one of the other madhab. If your local mosque is doing it one way or the other, do you have to find a masajid for your Eid Salah that performs it in the way that you follow, or you can just go to anyone under normal circumstances?
That's a good question. No, you follow your local mosque imam.
Okay, so if they,
because you are following the imam. Yeah, you do in salah, you do what the imam does. So you follow the imam. So if your imam is Shafi, you follow the Shafi. If your imam is Hanafi. So, but obviously the imam needs to consider the majority of the people. Most mosques in the UK, the majority are Hanafis, in the sense that the musallis, most people are Hanafis, right? So the imam should consider that. Even if the imam is Shafi, Maliki, imam should consider that. But even if the imam does not want to do that, then the people should just follow the imam, inshallah.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Okay, next question here. Actually, I'm going to go to the last question first, because I think it's from one of your young fans. So I think maybe they'd be excited to hear you speak to them. So it says, Assalamu alaikum. You have a new fan, 6-year-old Yusuf, mashallah. He wants to ask, what can children do on Laylatul Qadr? Should they stay up late?
Very, very good question. Thank you for that. I have also, children who are very young, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, you know what? That's a really powerful question, and I'm really happy. I'm not just saying that, by the way. I'm really, really pleased that Yusuf, you asked that. Why? Because that shows that your iman. That shows that you are a good person. That shows that you are keen in Islam. And it's amazing that at that age you'll be asking that question. But may Allah SWT bless you and continue to give you blessings and goodness in this dunya and the hereafter, inshallah. Because and so should kids stay up all night? I mean, I wouldn't advise that at that age. I wouldn't advise that. What they can do is that with the parents, maybe offer 2 rakats, 4 rakats at the beginning, before or after they eat and they can rest before they sleep. Offer 2 rakats with the parents, recite some Quran, and then they go to bed. They don't have to stay up all night, inshallah. But the very fact that Yusuf, you want to do that, you have the intention, you'll get the reward for it, inshallah. So,
inshallah,
I mean, bless you for that.
Yeah, mashallah. Well done, Yusuf. It's fantastic. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you and your parents, mashallah. I mean, the next question is, does suhoor end at the beginning of the adhan or at the end of the adhan? So good question, actually.
Very good question. So when as soon as the time enters, as soon as the adhan goes, you have to stop eating. As soon as you hear the adhan, right? If you are eating on a plate and you hit the adhan, you have some food, you can't eat it. If you have some food in your mouth, you hit the adhan, you can finish that. Yeah, you can finish that, right? But as soon as you hit the adhan, you have to stop eating, right? There are some few seconds here and there, leeway. That's fine. Yeah. But as soon as you hear the adhan, the time comes in, you have to stop, inshallah.
Generally speaking, when Allahu Akbar is recited, you
Yes.
should complete that morsel of food and then
Yes.
refrain moving forward.
Yes.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. That's nicely clarified things for everybody there. Next question is, can I celebrate the finishing of my child's Quran, in some cultures known as the Ameen? Is this valid or bid'ah? And what
Ameen,
are,
is it?
like the completion? I think they know it's known as Ameen in some cultures, like the Ameen as in completing the first Quran Sharif.
Okay.
And what of other celebrations if carried out in a halal way, like birthdays and anniversaries, etc.? I think maybe start with the first part of the question.
Okay, the first one, it depends on what the celebration is. So, if you want to, cook some food, biryani, have some nice food and give it to the imam is fine, inshallah, right? No, a serious note, yes, it's fine. I think we should, to be honest. I mean, why shouldn't we celebrate this? Our child memorizes the Quran and does something good, in Islam. We should celebrate it. Have decorations in your house. Yeah, make it, make something of it. Yes, obviously you should avoid anything un-Islamic, right? But yeah, make a celebration of it. Have a party. Invite friends. Obviously now we can't, right? But yeah, I think I wouldn't say just allowed. I think we should. I think we should. Obviously, we shouldn't say that this is wajib. We shouldn't think that this is wajib or sunnah. This is something that we are allowed to do, right? And I think, especially for our kids, when our kids, they see Christmas and other activities really nice. I grew up in this country, young age, and gone, from I remember beginning of nursery that Christmas was one of the best times that I had. When it comes to Eid, I just go to the mosque, and that was it. Come back and have some pakora, and that was it, right? So those special occasions, Eid, and when they graduate, when they memorize the Quran or do something Islamic, right? Yes, by all means do it, inshallah. Right? I think it's not only allowed, I think I would say we should, inshallah. Yeah, as long as we maintain the Islamic ethos, yeah, remain within the Islamic principles, inshallah. The other question was about general birthday parties and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, that's fantastic actually, and I like the idea of that, to encourage our children to, you know, to get rewarded for the good things that they do.
Yeah, I
So
think if
Jazakallah khair.
mosque, if the mosque have schools and hifz and stuff, right? Mosque, they should make a big do of it, right? Have certificates, videotape it, right? Really make a big do of it, right? Because they will remember these things, and it's an achievement. Memorize the Quran is not something easy, right?
Absolutely.
Learning Islam is not easy. You have to be patient, and so why not celebrate it?
Yeah, mashallah, that's a very, very great point. And the second part of it is actually other celebrations like birthdays and anniversaries, provided these are carried out in a halal way. Are these allowed
Yeah.
to be celebrated, or is this
So
a
this is
bid'ah?
a controversial area, right? Birthdays and anniversary, right? Now, I'm going to summarize it, and people, it needs a long, it needs a long answer in terms of, explaining other details. But I think we don't have time. I think it's not the time for it now. But to summarize it, you know, birthday parties. Before that, it depends what we mean by celebration. Yeah. So it depends what we mean by celebration or party. If we mean by celebration and party that we will do things which is un-Islamic, that's completely forbidden, right? If we mean by celebration and party, whatever, right? That we'll gather with family and friends, have some nice food, have jokes and fun. That celebration, that's perfectly fine. That's encouraging Islam, in fact, right? That's one thing. The second thing is about, okay, in particular birthday. Now, some people say that birthdays is from pagan rituals, and why are you celebrating a day that is closer to your death, and yeah, you can look at it like that, but although like Sunday, the days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, these are from pagan festivities. If you really go back to the history, right, we use the days of the week, we use the Gregorian calendar. These are from pagan, ancient, festivities and mythology. Does that mean that now, because once they use it for pagan theology, mythology, right, Does that mean that we can't use Monday and Thursday? Now it's everyone uses those days all over the world. It's not a religious thing. So birthdays are not a religious thing. Yeah, birthday is mu'amala, ada is custom, right? Custom of the of the people now, right? So it's not a religious thing. So if someone does it, says that birthday is wajib or sunnah in Islam, that's not right. That's not correct. That's not allowed. If someone wants to, you know, you know, give presents to the children, right? Go a family meal, whatever, like that, as long as it's halal, right? Then I don't see a problem in that. I think we should do it, right? When my children's birthday comes, we buy, me and my wife, we buy them gifts and presents. They probably got 100 or 1,000 Hot Wheels, right? They love Hot Wheels for some reason, right?
Inshallah.
every Ramadan, every Eid, Hot Wheels. I think, what is Hot Wheels, right? So yeah, wrap the presents and give it to them. I don't. Some Muslims, unfortunately, right? I don't know why we need to be so grumpy all the time, right? Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Allah's given us life. Let's enjoy it according to the Sunnah of the Prophet. And this does not, in my opinion, goes against Islam or the Sunnah of the Prophet, because it's not a religious thing, right? The other thing is about anniversary. Wedding anniversary. Again, it depends on what we mean by celebration. But if a couple wants to remember, go on a holiday, go out to a date, restaurant, whatever, right? I think that's fine. I think we should do it. If someone's married for 10 years, 20 years, right? Sometimes you need to do things differently. Make a special occasion for it. Go out, during the anniversary, go away from your children and go in a nice romantic weekend. Why not? Yeah, it's not un-Islamic. It's Islamic. So my opinion is that these are not religious festivities. These are not religious things. These are not celebrated like together in one day, and they're not religious, right? It's fine. So anything that, number one, is not religious and is not celebrated like as a communal thing, is fine. If those two things are met, then it's fine. Birthdays it's not a communal thing. Everyone has different birthdays, right? It's not celebrated together. It's a communal thing, right? It's not the same date, right? Everyone has a different date. Similar to anniversary, it's not a communal thing. It's not a religious thing, and everyone has a different date. So these are the principles that we can use, inshallah, with anything like that.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. I think on that note, we've run out of time. In fact, gone a couple of minutes over. Maybe if you wouldn't mind just ending with a short dua, inshallah ta'ala, and we'll look forward to the next session we have with you.
Inshallah. Barakallahu feekum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless everyone. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless everyone for joining. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all your salah, all your recitation, all your dhikr, all your du'as. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give everything that you desire, everything that you wish for you, for your children, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our sins. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure our sick and the ill. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable our professionals, our doctors and our experts to find a vaccine for this pandemic, this coronavirus pandemic, as soon as possible, inshallah, so we can go back to our normal daily life, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Until next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh. Jazakallahu khair, and jazakallahu khair for everybody who attended and joined. We look forward to seeing you at the next event this afternoon, inshallah ta'ala, at 6:30. We have another fantastic speakers corner coming up, and actually another fantastic event coming up today. Mashallah, we have a brother who has just come into the fold of Islam, mashallah, and we'll be meeting and greeting him, inshallah ta'ala, today, this evening from 8 o'clock onwards, I believe it is. And it will be, the meeting ID has been sent out amongst all of the WhatsApp groups, and I think via email as well. So please do join and welcome the brother into our community, mashallah. It's a difficult time during this pandemic, so it'd be wonderful to have everybody join and welcome him all together, inshallah. Following that, we will obviously have the dua and the adhan just a few minutes before the iftar time, and then Sheikh Mudaffir Nouri will be concluding the recitation of today's juz at 10 o'clock. So until the next time, Jazakallah khair. Please remember me in your prayers, and I'll speak to you very soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.